everybody. I hope everybody is really well. You've had a beautiful week. You're going to have another beautiful week next week. I'm going to go into easy tips and tricks and things to do to get into a state of meditation to help you with your meditation process. Every week I do an ascension guide, and within that ascension guide my guides will come through and tell me on a collective consciousness level which chakra we need to work on in that particular week. And the easiest way is always to meditate, and meditation has so many benefits for your health, for your spirituality, for your mental clarity. I'm going to go into all the different benefits of meditation in another video. I'm also in another video going to go through the things that can happen while you're in meditation, so the sensations that you feel, the images that can come into your head, all of that sort of thing that can happen, the visions, the premonitions, the pictures, what's happening when you're meditating. But right now this is like a beginner's guide to meditation, to just help you. If you're watching the Ascension Guide every week and you think, oh, I don't know how to meditate, or I'm not very good at it, this will help. First of all, the way that you sit. Now, usually when you see a Buddha meditating, or you've been to yoga, or everybody sits in the lotus position. Everybody sits cross-legged, and there's reasons to why you sit like that, but I understand that not everyone can do that. So first of all, you try and sit like that if you can during meditation, for the simple reason that it puts your body, helps your body to be in a relaxed state, in a state of rest, but it also keeps you alert. It stops you from falling asleep. So this cross-legged position is very comfortable to be in for some people. Also, because your hips are open, when you're doing this, you are opening up your channels. You are opening up the flow of chi that can come through your body, that can open up and unblock your chakras as you are meditating. You are usually sat on the floor. You don't have to. You are rooting to the ground. You are rooting to Mother Gaia to stay grounded while you are meditating, and you help to draw up energy and chi from the earth, which can travel up and help the Kundalini rise through your body and up to source. So I know that if you have a medical condition, if you are getting on a bit, if you're just not used to sitting in a cross-leg position, sometimes it can be painful. It's painful for me. Sometimes if I'm there for a long time, your legs can start to go dead, or you can start to get a pain in your hip, or your legs go dead and start tingling. You get pins and needles and things like that. It's about practice. All of this takes patience. All of this takes practice. Even if you're just sitting like that for 5 minutes, try it, because the next day you might be able to do it for 6 minutes. The next day after that, you might be able to do it for 7 minutes. So it's about practice that it comes down to. It also stops you from falling asleep. It keeps your spine in an upright position. It keeps it straight as well, for the energy to be able to rise up. So that's another reason. But if you cannot do it that way, sit in a chair, lie down, but put some pillows behind you so you're slightly elevated off the bed, so you don't actually so you're not in a position where you can actually fall asleep, because you need to stay alert to a certain extent. You want your body asleep, but you want your consciousness to stay awake without falling asleep completely. So there's a lot of deep-seated complicated reasons as well why you would sit in the lotus position, why you sit cross-legged, but that's the main reason for it. It's to keep your spine straight, to keep you in a relaxed position, but to keep you alert as well while you are meditation. I need to show you these flowers, look. A couple of days ago we bought a load of flowers for the garden and hanging baskets, etc., and then it snows this morning, so I've had to bring them all in, and actually they've done really well. They're opening completely now in the warm room. So that's the first thing, sitting. Do what is ever, sit in a position which is comfortable for you. So sit on the settee or the couch, put a pillow behind you, try and get your, try and be as cross-legged as you possibly can, but use pillows to prop you up if you need to. Put a pillow behind your back to keep your spine straight up. Put a pillow behind your head as you sat up if you find that your neck lolls and your neck starts aching. Anything like that, just be comfortable with it. Wear comfortable clothes. Don't wear a really tight pair of jeans or something that you're going to be sat down in, which is cutting off. You need to be able to breathe properly during meditation as well. That's a really important part of meditation. So just wear a tracksuit or wear, your pajamas, your nightie, something that is comfortable. I tend to do my meditations in the morning to start the day off. So usually at that point I've still got my dressing gown on and my pajamas, so I'm nice and comfortable in loose clothing at that point. But you need to be able to breathe properly, and that is very much linked into the meditation process. So don't have tight belts on, tight jeans, anything that would constrict this. It's always better when you meditate to do it on an empty stomach. Don't have a big meal or even a moderate meal and then go and meditate. It's the same when I do my readings, my psychic readings. I tend to find that I need to do it on an empty stomach, simply because if you have something to eat and then you're doing readings or you're trying to meditate, your energy, your body's energy is concentrated on your digestive system, breaking down the food that you've just eaten and taking the energy away from your meditation, from your brain, from your higher consciousness. Everything's concentrated down on, we need to break this food down. Also, it can make you feel lethargic and it can make you feel tired as well, which, gives you that chance to, I'm going to fall asleep soon as well. Your energy within your body is awareness, and that's one of the most important components as well of meditation. I've mentioned getting cushions together. You can sit on the floor, you can sit on the settee, get yourself surrounded by cushions, be comfortable, get yourself into a position where you're not aching, you're not going to hurt after a while, you're not going to get pins and needles. All of this takes practice, especially if you're not used to doing it. If the weather is nice, go sit on the grass, put your back up against a tree, you can put a cushion behind you, be as connected to the earth as possible if you want to be. That just helps so much more. But if you can go outside and do meditation, then do it outside. During the summer, I do it outside. As soon as it's warm enough to be outside, that's where I will meditate. Find the right head position, which is not something really that you're going to do until you start meditating. You will find that as you drop down in state within your meditation, when you go down into the alpha state, you will find that your chin may drop a little bit, or it'll loll to one side. When you start off your meditation though, remember that you're keeping your spine as straight as you possibly can. So you're trying to keep all of your channels open as you do it. So the best thing to do is just to keep your back straight and your neck as straight as possible, but still be in a relaxed position. So just keep your head straight. Once you've dropped down into the alpha state, into a deeper meditative state, you will find that things start to slump a little bit, but it's not going to completely slump down. It's not going to hit your chest or anything like that. Obviously, make sure where you are is warm. It's comfortable. If you are in a room that feels a little bit cold, then wrap a blanket around you. Do whatever's comfortable. If you're in a really hot room, you know, make sure that you haven't got a blanket wrapped around you. You need your temperature to stay at a comfortable zone for you, so it's something that is not bothering you during meditation. What I will go into in another video is some of the sensations that you can feel. Sometimes during meditation you can get cold chills running through you, or you can get the opposite and you can start to heat up and start to feel very, very warm. And there's specific reasons as to why this happens. So you need to be comfortable before you start. So that's like the basic, sitting down and what you're wearing and everything else. And then we can move into how to actually start a meditation. Now, personally, it's very rare that I do a meditation without listening to binaural beats. That's just the way I do it. Buddhists, monks, Zen masters, they go through years and years and years of dedicated concentration and learning of meditation, and it can take them years to reach certain stages. If you listen to binaural beats, if you listen to frequencies, it takes you into meditation a lot faster. And also when we're working on the chakras every week, you can find the right frequency that matches the right chakra as well. So you don't have to think about so much, how do I fix this particular, my heart chakra? How do I fix my heart chakra? How do I unblock it? How do I start it spinning in a clockwise position again? And how do I get it to flow again? If you are tuned into a binaural beat, which is the specific hertz for your heart chakra, then you're halfway there already. It's already going to, the binaural beat is going to tune into your heart. Your heart is going to tune into the frequency of the binaural beat and start to open up and start to unblock and help it to unblock. So you're halfway there already. So it's very rare that I don't listen to binaural beats. Some of you may have a problem with binaural beats. You don't want to listen to frequencies. You can listen to a guided meditation where somebody is speaking to you and guiding you gently through a meditation. That works for some people. You have to play around with things to see what works for you. So when we are in a normal waking state, we are in a brainwave called beta, which ranges from a frequency of about 14 to 40 hertz. This is our normal waking state. Then when we go into meditation, we want to get down. We want to get that brain state down, that vibration changed. When we are in a beta frequency, which is the normal waking frequency, we have an ability to learn things. We have an ability to also get into a fight or flight response as well. We have the ability to laugh and be happy and wonderful, and we also have the ability in that state to be unhappy and depressed and stressed out. By changing our frequency, we can get into a better state of bliss, unconditional love, de-stress the body, de-stress the mind as well. So it's not just spiritual, it's about de-stressing the body, which will prevent future diseases, which will help prevent illnesses. Dis-ease within the body is your body, ill at ease within it. So, and sometimes you want to do it just to feel chilled and relaxed. You know, it's not all about we're opening up a chakra or we're tuning something in or we're doing that. Sometimes it's about just centering yourself and becoming balanced within yourself. So there's lots of different reasons why you meditate. You could be a medium or a psychic and you're developing your psychic skills, something like that as well. It's all different reasons why. But the reason for meditation, or the aim of meditation, is to get down into alpha state, or to get up into alpha state. Alpha brainwaves vibrate at 8 to 13 hertz, and they're associated with contemplation, with relaxation, with bliss. They can help you study, they can help you be creative as well, and they can help you be artistic. Alpha brainwaves are more rhythmical. There is more of a rhythm to them, and when you get caught up in the midst of alpha brainwaves, you start to pay attention to your inner self, to your inner experience, rather than what's going on around you, rather than the noises that you hear outside of yourself. So you've got into the most comfortable position and you've decided that you're going to listen to binaural beats, or you're going to try without binaural beats. You're going to try it and just listen to the silence. What you need to do is close your eyes. Now what I do, because I cheat, I don't sit there like a little Buddhist. I have an eye mask. This helps me if it's a bright morning. It helps me if I'm meditating during the day. It stops the light coming into my eyes, which forces me to focus more on my third eye. So this is just a travel mask. I've got a soft black thing as well, which I use. Also, as I'm listening to binaural beats, I use my phone. As you can see here, I put it into airplane mode. My meditations are already downloaded because I don't want frequencies coming off my phone, so I always put it in airplane mode, and I just put my headphones in and listen. Sometimes the binaural beats come through as, I don't know what the name of it is, but it comes through dual, through both speakers, through both ears, stereo, and it comes through that way. So I've got the eye mask on, I've got those in, I'm in a nice comfortable position. This definitely helps with that monkey mind that we all talk about, where we close our eyes and we start trying to get into meditation and you've got all sorts of thoughts going through your head. And I'm exactly the same as everybody else when I start meditating. I'll sit there and I'll start to try and relax and to meditate, and I focus. So I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm not necessarily focusing on the binaural beats. They're just a rhythm that's helping me bring me into that alpha state. What I start to do to try and get rid of the monkey mind is to focus on my breath. If you're not using headphones, if you're not using binaural beats, listen to a ticking clock, listen to running water outside, listen to birds in the trees. Focus in on a specific thing that you can focus on instead of focusing on the thoughts that are going through your mind. When I start, especially when I do it in the morning, I am tending to think about all the things that I'm going to do throughout the day, or a thought will come into my head about a conversation I had yesterday with somebody, or something along those lines. Soon as that thought comes into your head, just ignore it. Let your monkey mind chatter away without paying it any attention. So instead of perpetuating the conversation in your head, observe it. Just admit to yourself, yeah, I've got monkey mind going on. Yeah, I'm thinking about what's going on later. I'm thinking about what happened yesterday. But all you're going to do is focus on your breathing, or you're going to focus on the ticking clock, or you're going to focus on the water. and observe it, and eventually it will start to disappear. It will start to go away. Just because you've got monkey mind at the beginning does not mean you're doing anything wrong. It's until you get your mind into that alpha state that can happen, and it's just learning to ignore it. It's just learning to get on with it. I usually find that it takes around 15 to 20 minutes sometimes for me to quiet my mind down enough to start slipping into an alpha state of meditation. I know a couple of days ago I'm meditating, I had not a thought in my mind, nothing. It was brilliant, and I've got pictures going on and I've got swirling and all sorts happening, and then I suddenly thought to myself, oh, that's really cool, I've got no thoughts whatsoever. And as soon as I thought that broke it. It was that monkey mind again, just putting a thought there for the sake of putting a thought there in your head. So as soon as I did that, I went, okay, stop. Yeah, okay, ignore it. Stop. Carry on. So it takes me 15 or 20 minutes before I start to feel myself slipping down into the alpha state and relaxing as well. When I first start off meditating, I'm sat there cross-legged. I might, put my fingers into a mudra, whichever mudra I feel comfortable with at the time. Put them together like this during Reiki to help with the meditation. And at first I can feel that my shoulders are tense. I can feel they're not relaxed. I can feel my neck is not particularly relaxed. And as I am listening, I'm concentrating on my breathing. I'm ignoring or just letting them pass by, the thoughts. I can feel the tenseness in my shoulders, but after about 15 to 20 minutes, you will feel yourself starting to relax, sort of increment by increment. You'll feel your shoulders slump a little bit, and you'll think, oh, I'm a little bit more relaxed. And then after another few minutes, you'll feel them go again, and you'll feel even more relaxed too. You can feel that you're in that alpha state. Once you get into that alpha state, you are not so much focusing on your breathing or the ticking of the clock or anything else at that point. You've then moved into a state of automatic pilot, where if you were for instance, if you were concentrating on your breathing, it's almost like the breathing takes back over itself and it takes on its own rhythm without you forcing that rhythm. It takes on a meditative breathing rhythm. There are lots of ways that you can concentrate and focus on your breathing. There is the Soma method, there's the Wim Hof method. A friend of mine, Reuben Langdon, who I've interviewed before, who we've had a good chat with, we were at Contact in the Desert, he's a very big believer and subscriber to the Wim Hof Method, which is a specific way of breathing, and actually I'll link one of his videos down below for it. I tend to use, I don't use the Wim Hof Method, I tend to use more of a Soma method, which is about breathing in less oxygen and breathing out more carbon dioxide, and slowing my breath down to well below what I would normally, the amount of breaths that I would normally breathe when I'm awake and conscious. It helps to clear traumas, it helps to clear all sorts of things. It's a really ancient technique, and it's sometimes, if you look up Soma breath work or you look up the Wim Hof method, but basically what I will do when I'm focusing on my breathing is I will maybe breathe in for 2 seconds, or 3 seconds to start with. And as I breathe in, I imagine that that breath is going all the way through my body. I'm breathing in down to my toes. So I'm breathing in beautiful, positive, white breath into my toes, and I breathe it in through my mouth for a couple of seconds, and then sometimes I hold it for a couple of seconds, or I will just immediately start to breathe it out through my mouth, push my breath out, but I'll push it out for 4 seconds. And breathe it out for 4 seconds and push as much air out as I can. That I need to go into that into another video. But the main thing with that breathing is, or whichever breathing you choose to do, you are concentrating on your breathing. That's where your focus is. You're not focusing on that monkey mind. You're not focusing on what's going on in your head at that point, which is the main things. You can also, to get rid of the monkey mind, you can do this while you're listening to binaural beats, or you can do it, when we go through affirmations and we go through mantras. So you can deliberately start saying things to yourself in your mind as you're going down into the alpha state. So if you're doing a third eye meditation, you can just say affirmations to yourself like, I see clearly, I am clear, I can see the world. You can just do and just repeat them and repeat them and repeat them. That tends to put the monkey mind out. That tends to stop you from thinking about mundane things and other things that are going on. I was going to say something else then, and I can't remember what it was. Cool. Yeah, so that stops if you do affirmations with it. Oh, that was it as well. Also, when I am meditating and I have my eyes closed, I am sort of looking up slightly. I'm not looking down towards the floor. I am looking up slightly behind my eyelids. And when I do that, what I am doing is I'm bringing attention to my third eye, I'm concentrating between my brows here on my pineal gland, on my third eye, which brings more attention to it and more focus to it. And it helps me also to bring me down into an alpha state quicker. So those are all the ways that ask questions below. I'm going to go into different videos about breath work. I'm going to go into a different video about what you can see as you're going through meditation, the different things that you can see. I can see a lot of faces when I'm in meditation, which are faces of people that have passed over, or guides or angels bringing messages through. I can see an eye sometimes, which is my third eye. I can see a candle burning. I can see a lotus flower with the petals opening up, which tells me my crown chakra is opening. I can see galaxies. I can see all sorts of things, and you will see all sorts of things, and it's really beautiful and amazing. Some of the visions that you get and some of the downloads and that you do get while you're meditating, and you feel so much better afterwards. And the thing is, you are so much more balanced. Your mood swings are less, especially if you're going through the menopause or you tend to get very emotional about things. You come to a 0 point where you're not highly upset about anything or highly angry about anything, and at the other end of the spectrum, you're not hysterically crazy about other things. You're at a nice balanced point in the middle, so your mood swings lessen. Your monkey mind, the more you train it and the more you do meditation, that lessens during the day as well. You find that worries and stress drift away. You're not worried about things the way you used to be worried about things. You will find that if you do start to worry about something, you may focus on it just for a little bit, until you realise you're not supposed to, or you realise that you can simply give it up to your guides and angels, to your higher self, to source, to the universe, and say, I'm not actually going to worry about this anymore, I'm just going to hand it over, and they're going to worry about it for me, they're going to find a solution for me, and then they're going to download that solution to me, because the worrying itself is not going to do me any good. It's going to block me from any light that's coming through. It's going to block me from my connection with my guides and angels, and it doesn't do any good. So it helps you with things like that. It also helps to direct your body and your thinking towards better fitness, eating better, drinking more water, taking in more vegetables, not eating so much processed food. You get the guidance down, you know, how to look after your body, not to take drugs, not to drink alcohol, not to take medications. It's like your guides and angels start to put little thoughts in your head and give you advice on how to be fitter and healthier than you were before you started meditating, than how you were before you started on this spiritual journey. But again, I'm going to go through all of that in another video. I wanted this to be like hints and tips for beginners, for somebody who is starting off. When I first woke up, I went through the most amazing, scary, quick, fast Kundalini awakening, with synchronicities everywhere and numbers everywhere and everything else. Meditation is also a way of helping you to awaken as well, helping you to see the synchronicities every day that we talk about, help you to see the numbers, help you to see the patterns in nature, the messages that are coming through to you from your guides and angels. Now, to say, when I woke up and went through a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, how long ago is it now? 5 years ago? I didn't have to meditate at the beginning. Things were happening so strongly and so fast, and they were right there in front of me. As time goes on, though, you realise that once that Kundalini awakening has happened and things start to come down, you have to put some work in yourself. You have to meditate. You have to keep that connection. Your guides and angels and that Kundalini awakening happened to you because you needed to wake up. Okay, and that's a lot of effort on their part. That's a lot of divine orchestration. That's a lot of planning. That's a lot to come down, and it's a lot of manifestation that happens to put you into, to get you to see the synchronicities, to wake you up at that point. But after a few years, or after a while, you start to come to a place of zero, into the middle. You start to calm. You start to get used to the way things are. You can create, you can manifest, you can do all of these things, but you have to put some work in yourself. You can't just expect your guides and angels to do everything for you. You are working to raise your vibration. You are working on an ascension process, because that's why you are here. You came down forgetting who you were. You're here to remember who you are. You're remembering that you are a spirit in a human body first and foremost, before anything else, and you have a complete right and the ability to be in touch with your guides and spirits, but you have to work at it. You have to do your shadow work, your inner work. You have to develop your psychic skills. You have to develop your clairaudience, your pre-cognizance, things like that. At the beginning, for some of you, as a spontaneous awakening, you don't have to do a thing. It's there and it's happening, and things are popping off everywhere. But once that calms down, they are teaching you and showing you that in order to keep your ascension going, in order to keep your vibration high and keep raising, you have to work at it. And meditation is one of the major ways of actually doing that. You know, if we're saying every week in ascension guidance, you know, something needs clearing and this needs clearing, you don't know how to do it, or you need help with it, meditation is a really, really good tool to use. So I hope all of this helps you and makes sense to you. If there's anything that I've missed out or anything that you want to know, jot it down below, because I don't want this to be the one and only meditation video. I want to go into it a little bit more on different aspects and the benefits of it. And really, when you find out just how amazing meditation is and the benefits it has for you, you'll be absolutely hooked. You'll be absolutely hooked. And this is what is going to raise your vibration and get those abilities going and help you to develop them and let you have access to your guides, to your angels, to your higher self, to past loved ones that have passed over, and to bring you into a place where there is no fear, where you're aware of what's going on in the world, you're aware of all the corruption, you're aware of government corruption, pharmacy stuff, everything. You come to know things, you just know, because your third eye is finally open, and you just know, and you don't need to look outside of yourself or to anybody else to know the answers to things, because you just know on that basis. And our earth changes, our poles shifting, we're going to go through a lot of earth changes and political changes and religious changes, earth changes, and we need to be in a place of balance to be able to help family and friends and those around us that are going to be in a state of fear or confusion, that they do not understand what is going on because they haven't woken up, they're not awake, they've listened to mainstream news, they've been stuck on politics, and they're not in an awakened state. They're going to awaken very, very fast, and they're going to be very confused. We need to be there to help them, and this is part of your mission on earth, part of why you're here at this time. So take care, and I will speak to you soon. I'll have the Ascension guidance obviously with you tomorrow. Monthly readings as well are going to start to come out over the next few days, probably till the 3rd of April, because 3rd of May, because I never get them out on the 1st, you know this. So I just start bringing them out, and we'll be done, and they'll all be out by the 3rd of May. And ask any questions and any comments below, anything that I've not covered, or something that you want me to go into more detail. But I just wanted this to be very simple, and show you how I do it, and show, you know, how it can help. Namaste. I love you loads. I'll speak to you soon.